Welcome to the VIG Archive. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please leave any comments in the box below. Today, we're going to be discussing Jamestown Colony, that is, in this YouTube video. History has always been something I like to learn it on my own terms. I was not very good at history in school, so I like picking up things on my own. So this is for people who like history. So we're going to learn about Jamestown today. Jamestown, the rise of England's first permanent colony. Jamestown, the birth of English America. Welcome. Today we're exploring the story of Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement in North America. Founded in 1607, Jamestown was a place of extraordinary hardship, courage, ambition, and survival. Although many early colonists perished from the disease, hunger, and conflict, their settlement endures. Jamestown became the foundation of English America and helped shape the future of the United States. Why England wanted colonies. During the late 16th century, European nations competed fiercely for wealth and power. Spain had grown rich from its colonies in the Americas, inspiring England to seek similar opportunities. English leaders hoped to discover gold, establish profitable trade, expand Christianity, increase their nation's influence. King James I granted a charter to investors who believed America could bring enormous wealth. Jamestown was born from these ambitions. The Virginia Company. Jamestown was financed by the Virginia Company of London, one of the world's earliest joint stock companies. Investors pooled their money, expecting valuable resources and quick profits. They imagined finding gold, silver, and a passage to Asia. Instead, they would discover that building a colony required far more perseverance than anyone had imagined. The voyage to Virginia. In December 1606, three ships, the Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, left England carrying 104 settlers. The Atlantic crossing lasted more than 4 months. Storms, cramped quarters, disease, and limited supplies tested everyone aboard. Finally, in April 1607, the expedition reached Chesapeake Bay and sailed inland along the river they named after King James. Choosing Jamestown. The settlers chose a peninsula along the James River because they believed it offered an excellent defensive advantages. Deep water allowed ships to anchor close to shore, and they hoped enemies could not easily attack. Unfortunately, the site also contained marshes, mosquitoes, contaminated drinking water, and poor farmland. What seemed like a strategic location quickly became a dangerous place to live. The Powhatan Confederacy. Long before England arrived, this region was home to the Powhatan Confederacy, a powerful alliance of more than 30 Algonquin-speaking tribes led by Chief Powhatan. They farmed, hunted, fished, and traded along the region. At first, relations between the English and the Powhatan people included trade and cautious diplomacy. However, competition for food and land gradually led to increasing tensions. Captain John Smith. Yes, we all heard of Captain John Smith. Captain John Smith emerged as one of Jamestown's most capable leaders. He explored rivers, negotiated with native peoples, and insisted that every colonist contribute to the settlement's survival. His famous rule, "He who shall not work shall not eat," reflected the harsh reality facing the colony. Smith's leadership helped Jamestown survive during the earliest and most difficult years. Pocahontas. Pocahontas, the daughter of Chief Powhatan, has become one of the most famous figures in American history. Popular stories often portray her dramatically rescuing John Smith, although historians continue to debate the details of that event. What is well documented is that she later lived among the English, converted to Christianity, married tobacco planter John Rolfe, and helped create several years of peace between the settlers and the Powhatan Confederacy. The Starving Time. The winter of 1609 and 1610 became known as the Starving Time. Disease, drought, poor planning, and conflict led the settlers trapped inside a fort with little food. Archaeological evidence confirms that some of the colonists resorted to cannibalism in order to survive. Of course, approximately 500 settlers, only about 60 remaining alive by spring. Jamestown nearly disappeared. Tobacco saves Jamestown. Jamestown's fortunes changed when John Rolfe successfully cultivated a variety of tobacco that Europeans eagerly purchased. Tobacco became Virginia's first major cash crop. Profits encouraged new settlers to arrive, expanded agriculture, and transformed Jamestown from a struggling outpost into a growing colony. Tobacco would dominate Virginia's economy for generations. Representative government. In 1619, Jamestown reached another historic milestone. With the creation of the House of Burgesses, this was the first representative legislative assembly in English North America. Colonists elected representatives to help govern local affairs. Although governing rights were limited, the idea that citizens could participate in government would become one of America's defining political traditions. The arrival of Africans. Also in 1619, a ship carrying approximately 20 Africans. Their legal status during those early years differed from the system of hereditary slavery that later developed, but this moment marked the beginning of a long and tragic history, and eventually evolved into racial slavery throughout the English colonies. It remains one of the most significant and sobering events in early American history. Conflict and war. As English settlements expanded, demands for land increased. Relations with native peoples deteriorated into a series of violent conflicts known as Anglo-Powhatan Wars. Both sides suffered devastating losses. These wars dramatically altered the balance of power in Virginia and contributed to the displacement of native communities throughout the region. Daily life in Jamestown. Daily life required constant hard work. Colonists built homes, cleared forests, planted crops, repaired tools, made clothing, and defended the settlement. Skilled workers such as blacksmiths, carpenters, and farmers became essential to the colony's success. Despite disease and hardship, families gradually established a permanent community. A royal colony. In 1624, the Virginia Company had failed financially, and King James I revoked its charter. Virginia became a royal colony under direct control of the English crown. Although company rule ended, Jamestown continued to grow and remained the political center of Virginia for many years. Archaeology and discovery. Modern archaeology has transformed our understanding of Jamestown. Since the Jamestown Rediscovery Project began in the 1990s, archaeologists have uncovered buildings, tools, weapons, personal belongings, graves, and evidence of the starving time. These discoveries allow historians to construct the daily experiences of both colonists and Native Americans with remarkable accuracy. Jamestown's legacy. Jamestown's importance extends far beyond its survival. It established England's permanent foothold in North America, introduced representative government, demonstrated the economic power of agriculture, and influenced patterns of settlement throughout the colonies. Its successes and failures shaped the development of what would eventually become the United States. A foundation for the future. Jamestown's story continued throughout Williamsburg, the American Revolution, and the founding of a new nation. Ideas about self-government, economic opportunity, and colonial expansion all trace part of their origins to the small settlement beside the James River. Although Jamestown faced incredible obstacles, its influence reached far into the future. Timeline review. Let's briefly review the major milestones. In 1606, the Virginia Company received its charter. Jamestown was founded in 1607. The starving time devastated the colony during the winter of 1609 and 1610. John Rolfe's tobacco crop transformed the economy. In 1619, both the House of Burgesses and the arrival of the first recorded Africans marked turning points in colonial history. Finally, in 1624, Virginia became a royal colony under direct English control. Conclusion. Jamestown was never an easy place to live. It was born from ambition, tested by disaster, and ultimately sustained through determination and adaptation. The colony's history includes remarkable achievements as well as profound human suffering. Understanding both sides of the story gives us a fuller picture of America's beginnings. Jamestown reminds us that history is rarely simple. It is a story of courage and conflict, hope and hardship, failure and perseverance. Thank you for watching. Once again, please like and subscribe to my channel and leave any ideas below. Thank you.